All right, so you got Rotune traffic stops takes a disturbing turn. Ah, fuck. That's on. Ooh, body cam. Damn, you ain't even see it. There you go. All right.
Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle? How much money you got in there? Okay.
This marks the very moment when police pulled over a combat veteran and took his entire life savings.
It says it's $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie.
That must have had your ears burning because I was complaining about not having enough hundreds in my drawer.
On February 19, 2021, a retired Marine is pulled over by the Nevada Highway Patrol when he makes a bizarre confession, leading officers straight to a huge stack of cash. As surprising as this is, the events that follow will prove to be even more shocking, resulting in intense public scrutiny and a lawsuit that plans to challenge the American legal system.
There you go. The driver of this vehicle was following that red and blue semi-truck too closely, less than a second following distance. Was driving under the speed limit. Stop him up here at Mustang. Make sure everything's okay.
Officer Chris Brown pulls over Stephen Lara of Lubbock, Texas.
That is crazy.
Welcome to Occoneechee Town, a recruit.
Travel.
Officer Chris Brown. Don't go in that nigga bad side. Don't get that nigga bad side, bro.
Hey, good morning, Trooper Brown of that Iowa Patrol. How are you today? I'm doing great. Hey, the reason I'm stopping you, we have a special enforcement campaign going on. We're trying to educate drivers about violations they may not realize they're committing, but we're seeing a big increase in crashes out here. First, applaud you on your driving. You drive great. You're driving really slow. It appears that you're trying to drive safely under the speed limit. I appreciate that. I just want to talk about your following distance, especially around commercial vehicles. Came up behind a red and blue tanker truck, a little bit too close behind him. Yeah, you gotta navigate that. You got your driver's license with you?
Sure.
Awesome.
I appreciate you, by the way.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Do you have a registration card with you?
Well, it's a rental car here.
Okay.
So I do have my rental. If you don't mind, it's underneath here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Any weapons in the vehicle? Oh, perfect. Yeah, if you can grab the rental contract, that'd be great, man.
Stephen tells the trooper that he's going to Portola, California to visit his daughters for the weekend before heading back down to Texas.
This nigga stopped him to teach him about traffic violation.
Answers all of Trooper Brown's questions without hesitation and appears to be in good spirits, completely unaware that this seemingly average traffic stop will soon transform into an all-out nightmare.
It's crazy. Because, like, damn, how does something like this end up bad? Like, you seen something normal. Or something, it seems like something you can just get out the way, you know what I'm saying? Go about your day.
You said your daughter lives up in Portola?
No, 2 daughters.
Okay, they both up in Portola?
Yes.
Come on over here, man.
All right.
You a fighter?
I'm a fighter?
Yeah, you got a tap-out shirt on.
Well, I've got a lot of training. I'm a retired Marine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What'd you do for the Corps?
Well, I was a data chief initially, but
Okay.
then they changed the MOS to cybersecurity chief.
Okay, when'd you get out of the Corps?
I got out about 2 years ago.
Give me a second, man. All right, just hang right there. Ever been in trouble with law enforcement before?
That boy a soldier.
Okay.
While Trooper Brown radios in Stephen's information, Stephen truthfully answers all the questions about his job, hotel reservations, and weekend plans. However, Stephen will soon find out that this lighthearted chat might not be as innocent as it seems, as Trooper Brown is about to reveal that an unsafe following distance may not have been the only reason he was pulled over.
Hey, while I'm working on this, let me ask you something, man. This is going to sound kind of weird. Part of my job out here is I do what's called highway interdiction. I look for people that are smuggling contraband through our state, across the country, weapons, humans, drugs, illicit currency, things like that. Anything in the vehicle I should be aware of? Okay. No firearms? No explosives? Okay. Is there any drugs in the vehicle? Cocaine?
I don't do drugs.
Yeah, I gotta ask all these silly questions, right?
No drugs.
Okay. Any large amounts of United States currency in the vehicle? Okay. What's a large amount of U.S. currency to you? Okay. So there's over 10,000 in there? Okay. How much money you got in there? Okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Would you give me permission to search your vehicle today? That's okay with you? Okay, perfect.
So obviously, he don't mind. You seem like he chill about it. I guess we just gotta see where it go.
Regardless of one's belief in their own innocence, it's advisable to not consent to a search of one's vehicle under any circumstances. Although he has the right to refuse, Stephen voluntarily agrees to let the trooper search his car, completely unaware of just how much he will come to regret that decision. As Trooper Brown gets the paperwork ready, Trooper E.J. Tumanoval arrives on the scene.
Take you out this way. Come out to see my daughter.
So he told him that he can search his car, and now there's another officer coming.
Right on. Out here in Reno? Out here in Reno?
Well, it's all California.
They doing okay?
I know you guys are suspicious. I'll ask lots of questions so I can get to the... Yeah, I'm not really worried about...
You know, I'm thinking it's like a procedure to that. Like, what makes you want to just call back up? Or what makes you randomly say, oh, I might need somebody else here?
Not anything, so I'll give you any information you want. But...
As Trooper Brown gives Stephen the paperwork to read and sign, Trooper Tumanoval heads to his vehicle to get his sniffer dog, Jill, nicknamed Jillybean, to see if she finds anything suspicious.
Jillybean, 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 you're a pretty girl. We go play.
While some dogs sit to signal a positive hit, other dogs are trained to freeze, just as it appears Jill does while searching the car. After letting Trooper Brown know it was a positive alert, Trooper Brown searches the contents of the trunk when he comes across a camo backpack. Meanwhile, Stephen drops a bombshell on the trooper when he reveals just how much a lot of cash really means.
You guys do this to everybody, or?
I just stopped out with you.
See, I'll ask the same question. I will ask the same question. Cause like, what man randomly made you want to pull out a dog? Hey, if you know, you know. What randomly made you want to whoop out a dog? Well, your partner now, bro, wearing gloves, got the tack gloves on. Like, dang, bro, like, what I do?
Our job is to look for traffickers. I'm not saying you
Man,
are.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I was just called here to help out.
Must be the haircut.
Is it? I don't know. I almost got the same if I would put it down. I don't know.
He's gonna find a large amount of cash in there.
Is he?
That's okay, because I got my receipts in there too, so
How much cash?
a lot.
Hey, he said there's a large amount of cash in there.
I already told him.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool.
But in the same bag, you're gonna find all my Bank of America and all my receipts. I don't trust banks, so I keep cash.
Oh, do you?
So
Okay.
I don't have anything to hide from you guys. And I know it's not illegal to keep a large amount of cash either. So,
Nope, not at all. How much cash you got?
Probably about 100 grand.
100 grand?
Hey, he letting you know.
Have you ever been stopped before and had money taken from you? From the government?
No.
No.
I know you guys, it's not illegal to have a large amount of cash either.
No, not at all. Nothing's wrong with that. This is Reno, so we
Where
get
are you
people coming
going
with a
with
large
that?
amount of cash all the time to go gamble. And
So I don't have a problem with you taking my cash because it is mine and I do have proof that it's mine.
Trooper Tumanoval shows an interest in the tire sitting in the trunk of Stephen's rental car.
what's in the tire?
Cracked rim. I'm getting it repaired over here.
Are ya?
Yep. You guys can cut that tire up and look inside if you want, but I would ask that y'all reimburse me for
Right. Oh yeah, the state would do, if we did it, if it came to that. But we have items that we can check first before you get to that point.
You searching my car like
Trooper
you
Brown makes a
to.
call to someone who,
Oh,
according
shit.
to court documents, is DEA agent Shane
That's probably what you asked
Murray.
for, right?
Hey Shane, how are you? Good. Hey, can you head out to a traffic stop? Or are you busy on that other stuff all today? So if I'm still searching a car, but a big bundle of money, it says probably at least 100,000.
After telling Agent Murray their location, Trooper Brown continues to search the contents of the trunk.
Hey, Brown. You just got something to tell you about the
What are
rim.
y'all like real suspicious and all? That rim is cracked. You grab my phone, which is in the car, and you look at the last number I dialed, just hit redial. I won't even touch the phone. You'll see that there's a place up here in Reno that fixes cracked rims.
Okay.
And they'll pick up, and all you do is identify it, and you'll see that I was trying to take that in to get that cracked rim fixed. I cracked it in Texas because it's snowing, and the roads were and there's big potholes and everything. So I'm just trying to get it fixed because I know the place up here that fixes it, and that's all I was trying to do.
I appreciate that, sir.
No worries.
Unfortunately for Stephen, despite his assurance, Trooper Brown is still unsure of him.
This doesn't make sense. There's some receipts in here, though. But
You said you put receipts on. Show us the money.
okay.
But
All right, man. So here's the deal. All right. I think you're a good guy. I don't know.
I'm a good day.
So how much cash is that?
About 100 grand.
100 grand. Yeah. So as you know, right? I'm a vet. He's a vet. You're a vet. It's not illegal to carry currency. That's currency.
Yes, sir, it's not.
It does, though, make us ask some questions on why someone has 100,000. I can understand why you don't trust banks, especially in this day and age right now.
Discipline and lots of
Somebody just
savings.
driving around.
What's that?
Discipline and lots of savings.
So with that being
Somebody just driving around with 100 grand in the trunk. Shit. Where you going with that?
said, if you're willing to talk to me about it a little bit, I'd like to. I know you got a bunch of receipts in there. I just want to make sure that it is your currency, that it's not being used for nefarious activities, right? That it's not money laundering or something like that going on. That's the questions that are raised, that potentially money laundering or something like that's going on. So,
That money right there is for my 2 daughters.
okay. You gonna give it to them on this trip or no? Or that's just your nuts?
That's my money and my two daughters' money and nobody else's.
Okay.
I take that money right there and I buy them things. I put food on the table. I buy them clothes with that right there.
Fair enough.
And that's me looking at you man to man in your eyes and telling you exactly what that is.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I got some questions I'm gonna want to ask you here in a few minutes. If you're willing to answer them, I'd appreciate that.
I have nothing to hide from you.
After Stephen agrees to further questioning, Trooper Brown reaches out to his sergeant, Glenn Rigdon, to update him on how things are progressing.
It's a strange one, but not a strange one. Consented to a search, said there was money up there. We located what he says is $100,000. It's in a Ziploc sandwich baggie.
Although it's not known what Agent Murray says to Trooper Brown, the call only lasts for about 40 seconds, and Trooper Brown informs him that he will start a brief with him, likely referring to Stephen.
Hey, Stephen. Stephen, you don't have any weapons on you, right? I know you're in. You mind if I just pat you down real quick? Face my car real quick, man. Man, do me a favor. Have a seat in my front seat for me.
As with all other previous requests made by officers, this is something Stephen is more than willing to go along with because, as he puts it, he has nothing to hide. Unfortunately, however, he still doesn't seem to realize that the more he agrees to go along with their requests, the deeper the hole he has dug for himself will grow. Now that Stephen is aware of his rights, Trooper Brown can finally begin the questioning process.
So, what is the source of the currency that you have there?
Source it.
I was about to say at the same time, I'm like, hey, alright. It gets to a certain point where I be like, alright, come on now. I'm trying to go.
Then, how do I make my money?
Yeah.
I'm a retired U.S. Marine. I get money from the VA for my disability. And it's money that I have earned from my employment, my job. Doing IT work for a hospital. Sure.
Why do you transport currency like that?
Well, there's nothing illegal about it.
No.
It's, I keep it on my person and I secure it.
Okay. So for security?
I don't trust banks. That's
Okay.
why I have a large amount of currency there with all the receipts, which I keep in there for this type of purpose, in case anybody questions it. And if those receipts get looked into, you'll see that those are my accounts that those deposits are made for, or those withdrawals are made from.
Stephen goes on to inform the trooper that he owns a debit card and only uses banks for direct deposits before he answers even more questions about the money.
Is there any reason that you can think of that a trained drug detection canine would alert to the presence of drug odor coming from that vehicle?
No.
Okay.
Like I said, I gave you a consent to search the vehicle. I have nothing to hide, so
Okay.
if the dog alerted you guys, I can't tell you where it's coming from because I don't do that stuff.
Okay.
Nor do I have it. That is a rental car, so I don't know. I can't control what happened before I got it.
Fair
I can't
enough.
control what happens after I drop it off.
In cases such as this one, if officers persist in questioning, it's typically because they lack sufficient evidence and are seeking information that could be used against the individual. At this juncture, it's crucial to cease further communication and seek legal
You can tell he's trying to buy
representation.
something, though.
Stephen is being fully cooperative here, and yet the treatment he gets is contrary to law enforcement's claims that cooperation would prevent such actions.
If the currency was to be utilized for a business transaction, personal purchase, is it going to be used for any of those, or is this just your savings?
It's my savings, and I plan on buying, getting a home
Okay.
for my daughters and I in Texas.
Okay. So you're planning to use that to buy a home in Texas?
But yes, absolutely.
Although Stephen has been an open book throughout this entire process, Trooper Tumanovow is keen to take Stephen's amenability a step further.
Hey, so you said you're okay with us going with your phone?
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need.
What do you want to go through my phone? What are you looking for?
Just trying to verify everything's correct like you've been telling us.
The only thing I'm authorizing you guys to do is make the last phone call I made just to verify that I was going to take that entire, that rim to get it fixed.
Okay.
But I mean, I got personal pictures and stuff on there. I don't want you guys looking at the pictures and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I want both of your pictures if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
So I can look at everything else but your pictures?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine? Okay.
Despite any officer's demeanor
I
or
wouldn't
apparent
believe
friendliness, it's imperative that one refuses access to their cell phone in a given situation. As awkward as it must be to have a stranger look through your phone, Stephen has no idea how much more uncomfortable things will get. But while the questioning comes to a close, Sergeant Rigdon pulls up to the scene where he can be heard taking a call.
Cause bro, you still on my phone. How you think I'm gonna trust you? You pulled me over. To give me a traffic yap session. You asked to search my car. I said yes. Now your friend and the dog pulled up. I told you what you'll find in my car. I said it'll be $100,000, or about that much. I told you I had it. It was for me, my family, my 2 daughters. Yet you still persist. Now I'm sitting in the passenger side of your car while you're asking me a magnitude of questions. And now you want to search through my phone? I'm gonna just edit all this other stuff out.
DEA agent Murray.
What's up, Shane?
There was just no way I was going to be able to make it out there.
No issues. It's too easy to do an adoption. You know, we contacted you, so I think everything's going to be okay. And I'll text you the money count after we get it. It'll probably be a couple hours.
For those who are unaware, adoption refers to the process of property seizure by law enforcement agencies as permitted by the U.S. Department of Justice's Equitable Sharing Program. When an adoption takes place, the federal agency keeps 20% of the proceeds, whilst the remaining 80% kicks back to the state or local agency, which is, in this case, the Nevada Highway Patrol.
So here's the money. He has a ton of receipts. He's in the military, gets the VA money.
He's in the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Marine Corps backpack. You guys get pictures?
I think Tristan, yeah. I'll put it on the car. We haven't done it.
While processing this information, Sergeant Rigdon briefly examines a bag of MoneyGrams and what appears to be money orders.
Balance is 1246.
Having finished questioning Stephen, Trooper Brown asked Trooper Tumanova to hang out with Stephen so he can share his findings with Sergeant Rigdon.
And these balances never... Got low balances on all these. But these are like 2019. I mean, there's not a lot in there.
Since the arrival of Sergeant Rigdon, Stephen appears slightly agitated, perhaps finally realizing just how out of control this situation has gotten. Despite his frustrations, Stephen still manages to keep his cool, unaware that Sergeant Rigdon is about to test his patience even further.
No matter after?
Probably somebody saying that.
I know if you don't have time for me, it's all good. I was a little frustrated, man, because I'm being treated like a criminal right now, and it's not your fault. This had a lot of bad experience in the past. I get it.
It's very, very odd to carry $100K in cash like that.
Yeah, but it's not illegal. But I can understand. I can understand your perspective. And everybody's been very professional. I didn't have anything to hide. That's why I let you search my vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I told the gentleman here I don't trust banks.
But you have 5 different banks to deal with. You got Wells Fargo, you got Plumas Bank, you got the Bank of America, and then there's one other bank in there. So I mean, you do trust banks.
Well, no, I don't, because if you look at my
direct deposit has to come from a bank too.
I'm sure it does. It goes to Bank of America, but if you look at my banks, there's no money in it. That's why those receipts. That's why I keep them. So if you call the banks and you ask them, and I'll call them right now and ask, or I can show you what's in my bank accounts.
Despite Stephen's conviction, he'll soon learn that no amount of reasoning will help him out of this situation.
So why the distrust for the banking system?
I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
That's just my reasoning. It's my personal thing.
Oh, I'm not trying to convince you one or the other. It's just it's not usual.
I understand.
And so we're looking for the unusual.
Sure.
You know,
I understand.
With the currency and stuff. I mean, somebody ripped you off, or I mean, you look like you could take care of yourself in a fight, but you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel comfortable going around with tax.
Well, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from.
I mean, how long did it take you to accumulate that much?
Oh God. I started saving since I was in the Marine Corps, 20 years.
How come it's all hundreds?
So I don't have to keep more. Oh. I mean, if those were all ones, my God, I'd have to, so you get more.
Yeah. We usually weigh. It's actually a cool trick. So one bill weighs 1 gram.
They can just take a little out at a time. All you need is like a couple hundred. And then it's gonna keep getting split while you buy things. It's like, why did they not think about that?
Gram. So if you weigh that and get the grams, and you multiply it times 100, you can tell by weight roughly what it is.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So you can like weigh your money and watch it grow.
Learn something new every day.
It's very, very odd. We're going to do a little bit further investigation on it, and you'll be on your way very soon.
Sure.
After expressing his suspicions to Stephen, Sergeant Rigdon consults Trooper Brown, giving him an opportunity to share his opinion on the matter at hand.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
I kind of lean more towards it's odd, but
It's odd, but it's not packaged
It's
like
not,
normal.
no, and he's answering the questions. There's receipts here, and
I would like to put the dog on the currency, man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean everything lines, as odd as it is, everything lines up.
But the travel story and stuff like that, man, I'm gonna get out my scale and agree that.
Sergeant Rigdon requests the assistance of a second sniffer dog. This time, Trooper Brown uses his own dog to detect the bag of money.
Man, if it is drug money, that's like it's one of the worst ways you can carry it.
Trooper Brown's dog has just given a positive hit on the bag of money. However, it should be noted that according to a comprehensive review by the Journal of Forensic Sciences, several studies have shown that between 67 and 100% of circulated U.S. currency is contaminated with cocaine, leading them to the conclusion that a positive canine alert to U.S. currency is not sufficiently reliable to determine that currency was used in an illicit drug transaction.
Crazy.
Positive alert.
We'll go forward.
And now he got in your pocket.
With the go-ahead from his sergeant to begin the adoption, Trooper Brown walks to his truck to get a bank bag. Meanwhile, Stephen looks noticeably more antsy as he seems to realize where this is headed.
So nice, the cash is not there anymore. Where's it at?
The Sarge took it. They did a secondary sniff, this little spot. I don't know what happened with that. Everything is on camera.
Okay. I'm just asking because that's my money.
Hey, I get like notice.
Soon, the sheriff arrives and is caught up on the situation.
You got a positive alert on the currency by itself. They had a positive alert on the car. Right now, we're just trying to determine whether or not it was proceeds. I believe it is proceeds. It is a big brick. And they're not old bills. He claims he's been saving it up over 20 years.
No, I hit 20-year bills.
No, those are all current bills. So.
It's really good, but it's just.
His travel plans are consistent with what we see with drug traffickers. So how much is in there?
About 100,000.
About 100,000. That money has not been saved up over 20 years. It's newer bills, so they're not 20-year-old bills. And it's not 100,000.
Okay, well, I'm guessing. And so that's my life savings. I've been saving since I went in the Marine Corps, which is in 2000. Okay. So that I've been saving for the last 20 years.
Love it. What we're gonna do? I believe there's drug proceeds dog related to it.
Drug proceeds?
Yeah, it's very common, sir. We get people that are trafficking large quantities of marijuana from Northern California to all states east, even from Reno.
Sir, I can tell you right now.
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, okay? We're going to seize it today, but that doesn't mean we're the final judgment on it. It's going to go through the DEA, okay? So the DEA will contact you, and the DEA will provide you with a means to fight it. You're going to have to provide your pay stubs. You're going to have to provide your other receipts and stuff like that. Okay.
After receiving this distressing news, Stephen desperately tries to convince Sergeant Rigdon of his innocence one last time, not realizing that...
I ain't gonna lie though, if I had honey came my car, I know you're not searching my shit yet.
His mind has already been made up.
So if you take that money, I don't have any money for me and my kids. I don't have anything.
You got a wallet on you?
No. My jacket's in the car.
Okay.
I don't have anything.
You don't have a wallet? Where do you keep your identification?
It's in my jacket.
Okay. Got it.
I'm telling you, God is my witness. Now, I mean, I'm a retired Marine. I don't have any reason to do drugs or anything like that. That's my life savings right there for me and my daughters.
I respect your service, sir. I serve as well. Okay.
Why do you keep saying I served as well? Like that's supposed to do something. Like, well, okay, you want a cookie, nigga? We in the same boat.
I have caught cops doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and they go to jail for whatever they're doing.
That's not me.
So you're who you are.
I did as well.
Doesn't influence whether or not we take action on what we see, okay? If it is legitimately earned income, you're gonna be able to provide those pay stubs, and they'll give you all your money back. But I believe it's drug proceeds.
It's not drug proceeds, sir. I'm telling you right now, it's not. I don't do drugs, sir. You want to do a drug test today? Let's do a drug test. I'm okay with that.
You know what a lot of drug traffickers use?
I don't know anything about drug trafficking.
I don't know what you know, sir. But a lot of drug traffickers watch these people with absolutely no criminal history. A guy with a long drug history or drug trafficking history is not going to be the one transporting the currency or transporting the drugs themselves.
Here's the thing. That money in there is, like I said, that money is my life savings. I'd like to go through. You want to take it? Okay. I'm going to give me an attorney. I want to know exactly how much you're taking.
I'll tell you what it laid out at.
No, I would like to go bill by bill.
No, we're not going to bill by bill. What you'll see is you'll seal it into a bag. Okay, into a bank bag.
Can I take a picture of that?
Yeah,
I'd like to take a picture of it.
As his reality comes crashing down, Stephen, while still remaining respectful, becomes more firm, a development which appears to take the sergeant aback slightly.
Do you mind if I take a video of it being still?
Like, bro trying to be cool with you.
I'd like to do that.
I think
you doing all that. I'm like, bro,
right now,
go by my day, bro.
Case number, and you can request that information.
Cause like, this is like such a big like say he's innocent. If he really is innocent, which honestly I feel like he kind of is. But man, bro, that's a real waste of time. Look, it's been like an hour. Like, bro, you sitting here for an hour 15 because you think that my money was in some drug shit.
I'm going to request the entire recording and the entire stop.
Okay.
Everything that we did, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. And I've been totally cooperative with you guys.
I appreciate that, sir.
There's a receipt down there on the ground. I believe that's.
Hey, Dave, can you pick up that piece of paper? Yeah.
Yeah. Is my swatch
I'm editing this shit out for real.
Throughout this incident, Stephen was under no obligation to answer all of their questions. It's evident that his willingness to cooperate was being exploited, and instead of acknowledging his innocence, the officers attempted to utilize his responses as a pretext to seek justification for seizing the cash. As Stephen is left with no choice but to come to terms with what happened, Trooper Brown has been busy bagging up his life savings. But before he's sent on his way, Stephen has some parting words for Trooper Brown.
Just want to let you know, I know you're just doing your job. The money that I have in my jacket is only $2. I need to pay for my kids, my bills, my hotel. We're going to get that time to Texas. Got no way providing for my children this time. Get back to Texas. I know you're just doing what you feel is best, but
like you know, my sergeant. It sounded like my sergeant talked to you about that a little bit. Told you what was going on and those lines. So,
I just wanted to tell you, Officer Brown. I mean, you're taking money out of my kids' mouths.
Sorry.
You're taking food out of my kids' mouths.
Like I said, we believe right now that this is drug proceeds with currency.
Well, I'm going to prove to you that it's not.
Perfect.
After taking down names and badge numbers, Stephen drives away, likely still reeling from that 90-minute whirlwind. Shortly after, Sergeant Rigdon and Trooper Brown head over to the bank to deposit the cash.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's You guys must have had your ears burning because I was complaining about not having enough hundreds in my drawer.
The amount of money the Nevada Highway Patrol seized from Stephen turned out to be $86,900. Stephen made good on his promise to get an attorney, and his case wound up being taken on by the Institute for Justice, a nonprofit advocating for forfeiture reform and other issues they consider abuses of government power. Although the federal government had 90 days to obtain a criminal indictment, obtain an extension, or initiate federal civil forfeiture proceedings after a valid claim to the property had been filed, the money wasn't returned to him until over 6 months later after the lawsuit.
6 months. 6 months. Without your bread is crazy. Wow. Just imagine one random day we get pulled over for what you think is about to be a routine traffic stop, and they end up taking all your money for 6 months and you can't do nothing about it. Boy, I'll be mad as fuck.
It was filed, and after the media attention caused by Stephen's story being featured on the front page of the Washington Post, it's likely that the officers were aware of insufficient grounds to justify the seizure of the funds, which may explain the delay in filing the necessary action for the seizure or forfeiture of the money. Not wanting this to happen to anyone else, Stephen and IJ also sued the Nevada Highway Patrol in state court, but the case was put on pause for almost all of 2022. In January 2024, a judge rejected the Highway Patrol's motion to dismiss the lawsuit, allowing Stephen's claims to move forward. It only remains to be seen if Stephen will be awarded the ultimate justice for what he endured on that fateful day.
No, 'cause that was like crazy, man. There's like no reason for that to even be happening. But you know, alright, man. Now stay safe.